Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Dings with Kinks. We're back. We took a little break. Of course, the audience didn't really know we took a break because, we did a little pre-recording. But hey, guys, I missed you.
Way to
Audience.
way to just kill the mystery and the magic of pre-recording.
We literally talked about pre-recording in the last episode that just released.
Yeah.
But that was
Yeah.
an episode ago. People don't care about
We're
that.
talking about time being wibbly wobbly and
Yeah,
steamy
you just
taco.
forgot because it had been a couple weeks since we recorded. I
Sorry,
am your
haven't given up
host.
Hope, but
I am
bash it
your
again.
host,
Go ahead.
John, and with two people I have very much missed, even though I've seen one quite recently, and the other
His
one
name sucks.
this afternoon. I want to introduce the lovely Miss Rebecca
Hello.
and the very astounding Mr. Shep.
Good evening.
Uh,
Oh my.
sorry, I was drinking a lot of
She's
water.
making
I'm a
happy
thirsty
shifty
boy.
noises.
I know.
Happy
I'm so
shifty, happy
excited.
shifty.
It's like her
Oh.
version of a dog shaking its tail.
Guys,
Happy
I
Wheels.
I'm out of shape. I don't remember how to podcast. My chest is tight. Oh. It's very, very
To
trapped in. It's very compressed. But my tits look great.
I'm very depressed.
My tits are looking real nice, though, right now. Mainly because I've been eating a lot of good
Yeah.
food. And what are we talking about this week, Aroogs? Shit! What are we talking about this week, Rebecca?
Apparently he did forget to podcast.
I did. I forgot how to podcast. That's what I get for hanging out with you in person.
You're right.
But
you're right.
thankfully,
We
everyone
are
knows your real
talking-
name.
Yeah. The secret's already out. Oh.
Mhm.
We are talking corsets tonight. Yay!
I'm sorry. What? Could you say that again without the high pitch? You sounded so excited right there.
Corsets. We are talking about corsets.
That's what I
my.
like to hear. Oh my. What? Okay. What is a corset?
A corset is an article of clothing that has strips. Sometimes it depends on what it is. Mine have steel in them, like and they cinch you in. You can have all their different styles, all different kinds, but it's basically a undergarment that has now become an outer garment nowadays. That uses lacing, types of lacing to cinch you in and really bind you up.
So,
Whalebone.
It's a wrap around your mid-waist type of article of clothing, not a sound of exercise that works your abdominals, your core sits.
Oh, what? I'm done with both of you. Both
Oh
of
my
you.
gosh.
Both of you. What?
Shep, I'm proud of you, Shep. You're coming over to my level of the cheap puns. Yes.
I can't.
Oh
I
yes. Finally, it took like 63 episodes, but I've corrupted him into the cheap puns.
can't. Nice.
Cheap,
No,
but
they're
not easy.
I love corsets. They are sexy. They are fun. And I know they're most popularly made out of whalebone, which sounds like it's very inhumane to whales. Is that true?
They used to be, not anymore. They used to
Okay.
be. They did back before metal and plastic and all of that. Yes, they used to be made out of whalebone. So that was the most common. And then in the industrial age, when grommets became popular and women were able to lace them up tighter, that's when metal started to come into play with the corsets. So, yeah, corsets were like bras. Corsets were undergarments. Corsets.
Yay for playful
corsets.
metal.
Yeah.
So this is at heart is very much paraphilia,
Yes.
attraction to an object that is not genitalia, as it were, or a part of the human body. It's object of clothing or item. I like it. I can get behind some paraphilia.
Me too.
Yes. How they affect that pair, they want to fill you.
Hmm.
I can't. I can't. Oh my god, this is why we can't go too long. Y'all get built up.
We do. We're so built up with the kinks. I mean, with the puns. But we are built up with kinks, and I'm excited about corsets. Like I
I'm
like this one.
sorry, it's been so long. I'm pent up. I need my release.
Um I want to know where this one became a kink instead of just a regular. Like I wonder if there's like a good history of when it became like, oh, everyone wears corsets, and then suddenly now, oh, you're wearing a corset.
Yeah, and also there's a scenario where I think that corsets actually dip into other kinks too, because through the extreme wearing of corsets, you get that body modification. Your whole abdominal turns into a little shiny hourglass because you're
Yay,
just trained your organs to be higher up in your body.
Shep has nailed it
Um,
this week. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. No, go ahead.
I
Shep has
nail it.
nailed it.
Many times.
This is actually a multifaceted kink, depending on which side you are. Being the person who enjoys looking at somebody in a corset to a person who enjoys wearing the corset. And with that being, it's two different kinks, potentially. Not saying always. Because sometimes people who like to wear corsets just like it because of how they look. Same with any paraphilia. But like Shep said, yeah, this is a whole different aspect. So there are multiple reasons for this kink, and I'm going to get into all of them, and I'm sure Miss Rebecca is going to get into some of them, and we're going to
Please.
make Shep do some of it too, because I
She's
kind of
going
want
to
to see
model
both of
some
them.
of them, right?
Yes.
my multiple that I have. Any reason, if I try to find any reason to wear them, I do. I love them so much.
So, do you like them for their kink atmosphere, or do you
Sis,
like them for fashion sense?
Both. I like how I feel in them. I also like how they look. I have a couple that I have worn that are outerwear. It's like a shirt. It's a corset with a shirt, and but I also have some that are more for fun, for play.
and
So,
this is going to
but you
Fun,
be,
don't
fun
wear
play.
those out in public. At least not outdoors.
Yeah.
but yes, because this is an audio podcast, this is going to be some of our listeners' favorite moments because their grand imaginations are now seeing Rebecca in their favorite style of corset. So you are welcome. You are welcome.
And I have
And
many styles. Many,
Oh, I'm
many.
sure
and
they're
you have
putting you in many styles as we speak in their heads.
yeah, and you have worn corsets many, many, many times on this podcast while we're recording.
Yes,
I
yes,
have.
indeed.
I have.
Which is why
Um,
many people are yelling at us to hurry up and go live already or something.
I know, yeah. They're like, you guys need to turn this into a video podcast. We're working on it, people. We're working on it.
I'm
Um,
gonna have to say, just where I'm pulling it back in. I don't know for sure, but I guess as a female and knowing actually the history of female underwear, why I know that, I don't know, random tidbits of information, but
well, we are informational podcast, so we're happy that you know it.
I know, I try. I don't think that um as a kink, it was really a thing where it's like, oh, corsets until later in mid 20th century. Because up until then, you still wore girdles. That was the proper undergarments. It wasn't until the 60s and 70s when bra and panties, bra and underwear became the standard, and girdles and corsets became not like old fashioned, that all of a sudden it sort of turned into, that's a sex thing, that's what prostitutes wore, that's what, it's that whole fantasy of and the feel of the hourglass. And I think that really, I feel like that's the tide that turned it, because up until then, that was just proper undergarments. That was like, that was what you wore. That was what proper ladies wore. So that would have to be my guess. So I could be wrong. Please prove me wrong.
So they do
No.
what they do is what you're saying. They did what they did.
They did what they did. They wore what they wore.
And we wear what we wear and fantasize about the pieces and things. But I believe I come up with another kink that this one can be used in or dive into as well.
Do tell.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, give you a visual of, because of this scenario, someone had a corset on too tight, could not breathe, fell into water. So,
Airplay.
play.
Breath play.
Is that how Ophelia died in Hamlet?
Yes, but I don't know, maybe.
I know she drowned. I didn't know if it was because her corset was too tight.
But yeah, so I never really thought about it till now of how many other kinks that corsets actually can be a part of. Yeah, body modification and now breath play.
I've actually almost fainted in one of mine because I laced it too tight.
No, I honestly think with this kink, yeah, there is so many aspects to it. Like you said, breath play, bondage even. I mean, like you were being bound into it. You can be laced into it. This is one of the really fun aspects of like corsets and all that, is not just lacing yourself up into a corset, but is very passionate to lace somebody else into a corset. Now I have done it very not sexually active by putting my boot in somebody's ass and pulling tight. I've done that at so many purgatories, it's not even funny. They used to form a line, and Shep, you can remember this, like when they're putting the girls in the corsets, it's like, all right, who's the lacer? And you just stand there. They walk up to you. You put your foot on their ass and just lean back.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I've never been laced that tight.
I have laced a mini bodice before.
I do find that sexual, though. I find that very sexual and very sensual when getting laced up in my corsets. Having somebody else do it. Now, when I'm doing it, it's not that sexual. It's me trying to like not dislocate my shoulder. So
well, that's the thing, is like I have done it in both senses. Like I have, yeah, like I said, put the foot in the ass, pull tight, and it's like almost a conveyor belt of corseting people. But I've also lace somebody up and it be very sensual and make it tight, make it just a little too tight, like just enough to where you can really feel it. And I mean, I kind of love that aspect of it. It's just like, I am in control of your breath. I am the one encasing you in this trap. And I like that. I like the bondage aspect of it. Which, you know, it's not our typical form of bondage because, like I said, you still have free reign to move around the cabin and whatnot.
Sometimes.
And free reign.
Sometimes.
Depending on the type of corset you're in. Yeah. You're not bending a lot if it's in a very stiff corset. I think that some people just I don't understand the sensuality of it because they think of nudity as a sensual act, like getting nude, more skin, and it really is such a very intimate act of somebody lacing you up, and you just, it feels so good. It really does to put it on, and it just is fantastic.
Yes, and we'll comment on over the years how they were basic things, but then they were developed into these super and unimaginable pieces of material that they are, because everyone knows that when you go to the Ren Fair and you see those busty wenches, those corsets are strong enough to cage some beasties.
Well, you have the underbust, and I think that's the most popular one at the Ren Fair, the underbust ones, where they let the girls all hang out.
They accentuate the lift and the hangover.
The lift and the hanging.
I was going to talk about like the different types of corsets there were, and the underbust I think is one of my personal favorite. It's the one that does not have the bra section. Yeah, and it's just like.
I actually, that has never been my. I just bought my first set of underbusts. Not a while. There was a sale. There was a sale, and I totally was like, buy 5 for the price of 1. Yes, please.
No, I very much love the underbust because I enjoy the hourglass shaped figure. Like, give me them big ass and thighs, and then teeny waist, and then boobies, and like the hourglass. I don't know why. It's just I love it. It's just so cool.
I have a very.
You watched a lot of Days of Our Lives.
A lot of Days of Our Lives.
I have a rectangle body shape, an athletic shape, so I don't hourglass very well.
Yeah.
So actually, the overbust actually looks better on me because it pulls in my waist better because the underbusts, the way they sit, don't cinch me. They give me the hourglass figure as much as the overbust do, and they're more comfortable for me.
Yeah.
For my body shape.
To be honest, like. And when I say I like the hourglass figure, I do not like it to the extreme because I have known some people who take the hourglass figure to the extreme and actually look like they may actually be an hourglass. I don't like that. I mean, more power to you if you do it. That's not my cup of tea. I just like just a little bit. Just like, you know, how they used to do in cartoons, wavy lines. Ooh,
but now I think this should be like some power move in a game or some craziness, because it's like the Underbuster.
The Underbuster.
That's
an
my
overbust.
New superhero name. That's my new superhero name. Is the Underbuster.
Yes. Oh yeah.
You heard it here, and you're welcome.
I have worn a corset before. For a purgatory when I was dressed as a lady. I gotta say, I don't have the rib cage for it. Mm-mm.
No?
No. Mm-mm.
What's your favorite style of corset?
It's easier to deal with if people have the floating ribs and not the attached ribs.
I don't know. Okay, so I can tell you right now, my favorite style, I can tell you my favorite outfit of all time is a pair of pantyhose and a pleather or leather corset underbust. Like preferably leather. Because I don't want it super shiny. I like that sheen of leather.
Just want to see his face in it, you know.
Yeah.
It just wants to shine.
But yeah, no, that is the hottest thing in the world. Just hands down, if you ever ask me, oh, I want to dress like your fantasy girl, that's it. Or fantasy guy, because, you know, I guess a guy, okay, tell you right now, I've seen some guys in that. So.
There's a TikTok going around with men in corsets, and it's like, hello.
Oh, hello indeed.
What about you, Shep?
I don't know. I mean, I would probably, if I had one of those underbuses with my kilt on, I'd probably rock it pretty well. I mean, I would look amazing. But I probably wouldn't do it, though.
Do I have a corset to match my kilt? I
do. We're bringing all kinds of good thoughts to you tonight, man.
I know, except that the
welcome back.
The one I'm thinking of, right? The one I'm thinking of is see-through, so I'd probably have to wear something over it.
I mean, would you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have all sorts. I have all different styles.
So, one thing I wanted to get into.
See-through, unless it's It's meant to be seen. That's why it's see-through.
Are you dissing see-through?
It's not fair.
Don't do dissing see-through.
But why wear lacy, pretty underwear if, like...
So if you get in a car accident and you die, your mortician is aroused. Uncomfortable, so.
Wow, okay. Wrong. Different episode. So.
My mom told me to always wear good underwear going out because you might get in a car accident and die, and I figured it's so the mortician is like, ooh, that man knew how to pack up some underwear. I mean, what do I care? I'm dead. No, one thing I wanted to talk about is corset training, which is an actual thing. When getting into this fetish or kink, or just in general, just like, hey, just for the fashion sense of it, there are corset trainers, which is like, it's essentially a training bra, but corset brand. And there are like different tightness levels that you can go to, and some of them I've seen have like 3 different rings for the that you can lace that are tight, tighter, tightest.
An hourglass, broken ribs.
Yeah,
Yes.
toy.
Well,
because
they also say to not just, if this is something that you want to do, or you've never worn corsets for an extended period of time before, and we're talking, and I want to emphasize this, there are some of you can get them off Amazon, they're like $30, and they're very flimsy. This is not the kind we're talking about. We're talking about the kind with like the steel bars or the really reinforced hard plastic, like the ones that are very the ones you're spending money on, like the really well constructed kind. That's the ones we're talking about, because you can get some of the cheaper corsets that the aesthetic is similar, the feel is very different, and there's a huge distinction. I've had both. And some are just for play. Some are actually for like you can get seriously injured if you're not doing it correctly. So if you have not worn a corset for an extended period of time, you should lace it up. Like John said, there are waist trainers, but you should not lace it too tight, and you should not wear it for more than a couple hours at a time. You need to build your body up into getting used to it, because it's constricting organs, it's constricting depending on kind you have, it's your lung capacity, you're training your body to wear this article of clothing, and that is very important.
Absolutely.
Because
this is not
specifically, it constricts your diaphragm, which is your breathing muscle. So that's the main losing your breath, because you have to learn to breathe in smaller breaths.
And so, yeah, this is like the safety section, but also like the how-to. Because corseting is like an awesome thing, and if you really do want to get into it, you actually have to train your body to do it. Like, you have to practice it. You have to wear them for a little bit, and start small, or start big, and work your way small.
Unless you're one of those crazy contortionist type people that could probably wear it however you want. It'll look good no matter what. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Well, I mean, if you're that lucky,
Right? It's fine.
Because you could, especially if you're lacing it yourself, I've actually experienced this where you lace in the wrong places, you tighten in the wrong places, and you're not realizing it until you maybe have gone at like a 30 minutes or something. You're like, it's almost like tying your shoe and tying like one part of your shoe a little too tight, and you're like, this is very uncomfortable. When you're in it, it shouldn't be, unless that's the goal, it shouldn't be uncomfortable. You should train your body that it is a comfortable article of clothing for you to wear, even when it's laced tightly.
Someone told me, and like, I don't know how accurate this is. This is just some idiot telling you this from the internet on a podcast with the word dinks in it. So take it with a grain of salt. But when you're first learning corsets, usually like with like a shoe or anything else that you lace up and then you tighten, you start at one end and work your way down or work your way up. And when they told me with corsets, you start in the middle, you tighten, and then you go outward evenly from there, tightening it up when you're training, because it works the parts that need to go up, and the parts that need to go down, kind of separating so they're not all getting squished in the middle or forced downward or forced upward when they shouldn't be.
Yeah, so for your guys that have that ridiculous problem where your balls get stuck up in there, get a corset. It'll get the things that need to go down. Get the bad up.
Balls haven't dropped yet?
Out.
Try if your balls haven't dropped, try corseting. Until before corseting, I sounded like this.
Brand new use for corsets. You're welcome, men.
Yes,
you heard it here first.
And there are male
How to drop your
corsets out
balls.
there. It is not just a female thing or just men wearing female corsets. There are male corsets, and they're very attractive. They are very attractive. So I highly suggest if you go find them, go look at them.
Satyr from our events that we go to, he wears male corsets.
Get them as a Christmas gift or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know several gentlemen who wear corsets. And yeah, gotta say, they rock it out well. And then one doesn't, but that's because he doesn't know how to lace up a corset. It's very sad. It's like a train wreck. It's like a kid who doesn't know how to tie his shoe. Yeah, we all knew that one kid who
that one kid whose laces are always unlaced.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? You lace it up or don't. Just
does
wear flip-flops.
Wear a lot of red and white outfits?
Red and white outfits.
Honestly, I think
at events.
Yes, he does.
I love my corsets. I do.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you, Shep?
I do.
I don't know who you're talking about, so I'm just gonna keep talking to myself.
No, sorry. I was the guy I told you that doesn't know how to lace his corset up. Shep just realized who I was talking about. Somebody we know. Well, they will remain nameless because we don't dox people.
Plus that person is really cool. Every event, Yeah.
Love them. Does not have any idea how a corset works.
But really cool. Yeah.
Really cool corset. When was the first time you ever corseted?
I was actually really late to the game. I've always loved them, but I never wanted to go cheap on them, so I didn't buy one until I was in my late 20s. I was in my late 20s.
About the same here. I didn't start strapping them on women until I was in my mid 20s or so. Yeah.
But I didn't. Like I said, I didn't want to go cheap, but I've always loved them. I've always loved them. I've loved them since I was little. But maybe that's one of those things where I'm a big history buff. I love history and I love historical dramas and these women and their beautiful corsets and I just love them. I've always loved the look. And once I got it and I got the feel of it, just made me feel so sexy and sensual. And it was just, I love it. Every single time I put one on, I feel sexy. And I love it. It's like my favorite.
Corsets exude sexiness. So I am 100% on board with that. I think across the board we are in agreement that corsets are awesome. You just want to be very careful with them. And they are consumed in so many kinks. It's impossible to go over every one of them. From body transformation, breath play, submission, torture. I mean, we could sit here and
I like where this is going.
Yeah, we could list stuff all day long where these factor in.
It also, like when people think of female doms, like they think of one in PVC, and that's it also exudes power. You know, like
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
it exudes that type of like power and confidence to wear them. So it's
Oh,
also
absolutely. Yeah. No, this transcends like all kinks. This is like, you know what? If you're good on kink in the kink lifestyle, you're gonna see a corset. It's gonna be in your life, whether you're wearing one or you're with somebody who's wearing one. Unless you're both big old bears, and we love you too. You don't have to wear a corset. You just be you. You be wonderful. Rawr.
rawr.
Rawr. Hey guys, normally I would spin the wheel, but you know what I realized what next week is?
What?
It's a very, very special holiday.
Vlog
Winter
Con.
solstice?
Boxing Day. It's Boxing Day. No, it's Christmas.
Yay! For those who celebrate Christmas and then
Yeah.
also Hanukkah and Kwanzaa.
Hanukkah, I think
and...
Hanukkah is ending this week, or is it last week?
Oh.
Hanukkah was early this year.
Around this time. Oh,
So-
okay.
We're celebrating holidays. Got it. Yeah.
Holidays. The holidays.
We're celebrating the holidays. I'm just saying that in the calendar date that this falls on is
Mhm.
Christmas Day, whether you celebrate it or not. But I figured we would do a very special episode.
Why did it have to fall on? Why can't it just walk on? We're not clumsy here. Why's it got to fall on?
Get the fuck out,
Or you
Chef.
can
I'm
climb on it. You can climb on it. There
Yep.
you go.
Mount
There you
it.
go.
Yeah.
Mount the
we're gonna
day.
climb on Christmas.
Listen, do you know why I
Or
wanted to do a
Mondays, because
special
I
Christmas
think a good
episode?
mounted Monday sounds good. Mounted
Because-
Monday.
We are going to fill our stockings with our favorite subject, toys.
Yay!
And I'm not talking about your Hot Wheels.
Toys do
I'm
tend to
talking
fill
about
things. Yes.
Are we gonna
sex
fill our
toys.
sack with toys? Are we gonna fill
Yeah.
our sack with toys? Yeah.
But this is not going to be a regular episode, guys. Instead of we're talking
Some of
about
the
like
toys
why
will come
people,
shaped like sacks.
since we're going to kind of be on a holiday break. I want to do an episode where we talk about our favorite toys, like just in general, like sex toys, and we'll get into like
It's
what
you.
kinks they
I'm
fall
saying now,
into.
it's you, John. My
Oh,
favorite
it is
toy.
you, John. John, you're our favorite toy.
It's a Christmas miracle, joy to the world.
Well, I'm sorry we had to ruin the next episode already, but yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. So
our top 10 toys.
Yeah, I said
Kinks
we
and
go
kinks,
in.
top
We
10.
make our top 10 sexual toys.
Okay. That sounds like a good episode. I'm
Mhm.
really
I'm
happy,
excited
y'all.
about
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm just all like sparkly. It's
This
Corset.
is
No!
a
Corset makes me
tantalizingly
happy.
titillating episode.
Oh, this episode was fun. I liked it. I feel like we cinched it all up into it with a nice bow, and we got there. You guys hate, but that was
Were you
Were you
solid.
working on that one for a while, were you?
That was
No, I
good.
just
That
thought
was
of it.
Good.
Yeah, that was solid, right? You have to give it
That
to
was
me. That was solid.
You're right. That
Sounds
was
like
good.
actually you have forgotten how to podcast because you're putting effort into it now.
Yeah, I was just top of my head. Brilliant. I didn't write that 3 weeks ago before we were supposed to go. No. Straight from the get.
But
Straight
I
from
want
the
to
get.
know out there to any of our fans, who else is a Corset fan? I want to know. Let's bond.
Yeah.
Let's bond over corsets.
Actually, you know what?
Bond
Our
with
audience has been fantastic about reaching out to us here lately. We've been getting lots of feedback from the smoking episode, and I want to hear more feedback from audience. Like, message us, ask us questions. If you have a specific person you want to ask on this podcast, reach out to our social media at Dinks with Kinks on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll make sure the person you're asking the question to gets an answer to you.
Yeah, we'll
the
be
only-
happy
the
to
only
bond
person-
those corsets together.
The only person here who
We'll try it
doesn't
together.
have their personal social media would be Shep, but he'll just answer through the official Dinks with Kinks episode. I'll just hand him the phone and be like, "Here you go, answer this."
Yeah.
So if you have a question, we'll personally answer it, and we'll talk. We may shout you out on the air because I love hearing from fans and the audience.
I do too.
It's just fun. I learned so much about smoking. We've had such a great outreach from that. So
I know that was awesome. You guys are amazing. I mean, that was something that we sort of knew a little about. We knew some about, but we definitely have learned so much, and it's awesome. You guys, and it's what this is all about. The kink community, like coming together and sharing information, and it's fun. I like that.
absolutely. So you keep reaching out to us. We'll keep responding, and we'll see you
Reach
guys
out and
next
touch
week.
us.
Reach out and touch us. Bow, 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 bow. And that's it for copyright. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Till next time.